Sports and famous broadcasts. Which New York Giants quarterback threw the game-winning touchdown pass to Plaxico Burress in Super Bowl 42, upsetting the undefeated New England Patriots? Eli Manning. Joe Buck echoed a famous broadcasting call originally made by his father in 1991 when David Freese won Game 6 of the 2011 World Series for which National League Baseball team? St. Louis Cardinals. Which Major League Baseball team broke an 86-year-old curse, famously linked to Babe Ruth, to become world champions in 2004? Boston Red Sox. What alliterative, two-word phrase leading with a state name describes the dramatic, time-expired touchdown play that won a 2018 NFL playoff game for the Vikings? Minneapolis Miracle. Which five-word exclamation of victory did broadcaster Joe Buck get to announce after Travis Ishikawa hit a walk-off home run to win the 2014 NLCS for San Francisco? The Giants win the pennant. Geography and places. 15 of the biblical psalms are designated as songs of ascents, traditionally sung by pilgrims traveling up to which holy city? Jerusalem. Which Ohio city southwest of Toledo serves as the setting for the book and film adaptation chronicling the life of contest winner Evelyn Ryan? Defiance. Which city served as the national capital of Pakistan from 1959 until 1969 before the capital shifted 9 miles northeast to Islamabad? Rawalpindi. Which North Carolina city features Capitol Square, a prominent historical location displaying Greek Revival architecture? Raleigh. Which city located in the Nile River Delta gave its name to the famous ancient artifact that helped scholars decipher Egyptian hieroglyphics? Rosetta. Which city situated on the Euphrates River was partially occupied by ISIS militants until Iraqi government forces fully reclaimed control in 2016? Fallujah. You can travel between Schiphol Airport and the center of which European capital city in about 17 minutes by train? Amsterdam. Cinema and entertainment. Which 1961 classic film features an iconic promotional image of Audrey Hepburn in a little black dress with a cat resting on her shoulder? Breakfast at Tiffany's. Which 1986 military action film features a title logo where 2 dog tags stand in place of the 2 OS? Top Gun. Gabriel Byrne and Stephen Baldwin are part of a 5-man police lineup on the promotional poster for which 1995 mystery thriller film? The Usual Suspects. Which 2023 biographical drama film is promoted with an image of a lone man, a nuclear explosion cloud, and the tagline, "The World Forever Changes"? Oppenheimer. Which Broadway musical that brings American history to life is scheduled to release its official movie event adaptation in August 2025? Hamilton. What menacing 3-word question is famously uttered by Heath Ledger as the Joker in the 2008 film The Dark Knight? Why so serious? Words, language, and idioms. What popular internet acronym is used before a question to indicate that the user wants a complex topic explained in the simplest terms possible? ELI5. Which phrase meaning, "it is completely unintelligible," was popularized by a description of a speech given by Cicero in Shakespeare's play Julius Caesar? It's Greek to me. What French word represents a rich, traditional seafood stew that originated as a specialty in the port city of Marseilles? Bouillabaisse. What common 5-letter word serves as a major American city, the name of a large mammal, and a verb that means to completely baffle someone? Buffalo. How do you say the English phrase, "I don't understand," when translating directly into Spanish? No entiendo. Maritime and nautical terms. What safety term refers to the small wooden bridge or walkway used by passengers to board and disembark from a vessel? Gangway. What historic maritime punishment involved dragging an offender entirely underneath the bottom structure of a ship's hull? Keel hauling. What specific nautical term is used to describe the ropes or cables utilized for raising and lowering a ship's sails or flags? Halyards. When a sailing vessel capsizes entirely so that its mast points straight down into the water, it is said to be doing what reptile-themed action? Turtling. What word refers to the long, heavy planks running horizontally along the side of a ship's hull, sharing its name with a constituent country of the UK? Strakes. History and politics. Which U.S. president campaigned on the prominent pledge of a return to normalcy following the conclusion of World War I and the 1918 pandemic? Warren G. Harding. An exceptionally viral 1840 presidential campaign song popularized a slogan that combined a famous American battle site with which running mate? John Tyler. In which year did the song "Happy Days Are Here Again" become the official campaign anthem for the Democratic Party, just 1 year before Prohibition ended? 1932. Which conservative Arizona senator was defeated in a landslide election after Lyndon B. Johnson's campaign aired the controversial Daisy nuclear television ad? Barry Goldwater. What upstate New York village served as the namesake origin for Martin Van Buren's OK Clubs, cementing a famous 2-letter phrase into the language? Kinderhook. Literature and children's books. In 2025, Eric Sobel continued his late father Donald Sobel's literary legacy by publishing a new collection of mysteries featuring which famous boy detective? Encyclopedia Brown. On Saturday, the main character of which classic children's book ate through chocolate cake, an ice cream cone, a pickle, and numerous other treats? The Very Hungry Caterpillar. Peter goes exploring on a crisp winter morning in which classic 1962 children's book, celebrated as one of the New York Public Library's most checked-out titles? The Snowy Day. Which popular best-selling novel centers on Augie Pullman, a young boy with severe facial differences navigating a mainstream school for the first time? Wonder. Which 19th-century English author and poet occasionally used the stormy male pseudonym Charles Thunder when signing her personal letters? Charlotte Bronte. Contests, games, and fairs. Comedic actors and critics alike have frequently tried their hand at writing witty captions for a regular single-panel cartoon contest hosted by which magazine? The New Yorker. What ancient mythological beauty contest featured Hera, Athena, and Aphrodite as the sole competitors and ultimately sparked the Trojan War? The Judgment of Paris. Which U.S. state fair hosts a historic fiddlers contest where musician Kirk Brandenburger won a title in 2025, exactly 52 years after his first win there? Iowa State Fair. What real-world newspaper competition from around 1910, which offered prizes like sewing machines or trips, evolved into a modern idiom describing a non-competitive election? Subscription contest. Science and earth science. What four-letter term is used for the small, weak tides that occur during the intermediate first and third quarter phases of the moon? Neap. What technical term describes any layer of ground or soil that remains at or completely below 32 degrees Fahrenheit for 2 or more consecutive years? Permafrost. What specific, high-temperature layer of the Earth's atmosphere is situated roughly between 50 and 400 miles above the planet's surface? Thermosphere. What Spanish word describes a dry, flat, and vegetation-free desert basin floor formed by an evaporated lake bed? Playa. What specific ecological term describes the shallow, wet depressions commonly found scattered across the agricultural landscape of the upper Midwest? Potholes. The main belt is a region of our solar system situated between Mars and Jupiter where what specific type of celestial bodies, like Eunomia and Juno, are located? Asteroids. Which specific botanical variety of citrus tree, known scientifically as Citrus aurantiifolia, produces the small fruit essential for making a classic regional pie? Key lime. Religion and biblical texts. More than 70 of the 150 biblical hymns found in the Book of Psalms are traditionally attributed to which prominent second king of Israel? David. The second inaugural address of Abraham Lincoln directly quoted the Book of Psalms to declare that what specific attributes of the Lord are true and righteous altogether? Judgments. According to the musical descriptions found in Psalm 68, the damsels played a small version of what specific percussion instrument? Timbrel. A famous 19th-century illustration depicting a young shepherd boy shielding his flock from a predator was created to visually represent which specific biblical psalm? Psalm 23. Miscellaneous knowledge. What traditional term describes a crime where the illegal act was actively carried out by an individual working directly within the victimized organization? Inside job. What four-word summary describes the historical fates of King Henry VIII's 6 wives in sequential order, starting with Catherine of Aragon? Divorced, beheaded, died, survived. What specific type of formal attire is universally expected for guests attending an upscale gala, evening ball, or formal social party? Evening wear. What historic English town chartered by King Henry III in 1253 is famously referenced in the title of an 1898 poem written by Oscar Wilde about his time in prison? Reading. What non-fiction children's book series written by Brad Meltzer uses illustrated stories of historical figures as kids to teach valuable life lessons? Ordinary People Change the World. What traditional name is given to the final day of preparation before the solemn Christian fasting period of Lent begins on Ash Wednesday? Shrove Tuesday. Which specific vocabulary word meaning confused or dizzy was used by Rodgers and Hart alongside bewitched and bothered in their famous show tune title? Bewildered. Which world-class Norwegian cross-country skier made history at the 2026 Winter Olympics by winning a record-shattering 6 gold medals in a single games? Johannes Hasflot Klæbo.